Good morning, Bitcoiners. Here we are back again at the lake. Just took not a day off, but I went up to Canada, our fair neighbor to the north, to celebrate the anniversary with my wife. It was a big milestone one for us. We've been married for 30 years, so that was awesome. Love Canada. Huge fan. Today's show is going to be titled Don't Trust, Verify. Because a couple things. Yesterday there was a really good essay, and I should have read the title right before I did the video, but I forgot. So it was about why rich yuppies don't get Bitcoin. It was awesome, and I'll post a link in the description. And it's really worth the read. I suggest that you click on the link and read it, because I've been thinking about this myself, and I think the thing that they got right, that the author of the essay got right, was it's all about trust. That's why rich yuppies can't get Bitcoin. And in the essay, he talks about the, he calls it the Murad meme, which I never knew that was the name of it. It's that meme where it has the normal curve, and on one side it has the 80 IQ pleb, and on the other side it has the genius, and in the middle it has the LoJack with the tears streaming down his face. And it has 250K, 250K, and in the middle, the LoJack saying Bitcoin will never hit 250K. There was a huge rally this weekend. We've since, I think lost $6,000 off of the Bitcoin, but people were getting real excited. I say, as my wife keeps on telling me now, stay humble, stack sats, right? Don't get worried. Don't get excited about price action. There's a sense of urgency that you should get with price action if you're new to Bitcoin, but don't get excited about the price when it goes up or when it goes down. Back to the essay. So don't trust, verify is what I call today's show. And part of the reason for that is this essay about why rich yuppies don't get Bitcoin. And I mentioned that the LoJack meme, and I think that's an oversimplification, and that's one of the things about this essay I really like, because in the essay he mentions the LoJack meme, the Murad meme, which has the LoJack and the genius and the 80 IQ pleb. I liked in this essay he has two axes, an X and a Y axis in his graph that he shows, and it's intelligence on the y-axis and trust in the system on the x-axis. And this is a perfect way to plot it, because the people, the yuppies, these rich yuppies, they're super high IQ. That's one of the reasons they're so successful. They're the ones who are getting the really good jobs. They're getting into Harvard. They know, since they were young, since they were little, they know how to work the system to get on the inside track, right? That's the kind of folks that these people are. They don't get Bitcoin because they still trust the current system. They've gotten all these rewards to it. They've gotten close to the money printers, right? They've gotten all of the cream of society because they're intelligent and they trust the system. They'd be what in old Soviet Russia, they'd be what were called apparatchiks, right? They're part of the system. They're the ones who are really benefiting from the system, and they're going to be the last ones that get into Bitcoin. I mean, Larry Fink is already into Bitcoin. He's not an apparatchik. He's a boss, right? These guys are going to be the last ones. And it's really interesting because there's two sources of information that they trust. One, the Larry Finks, the bosses, right? They're very tuned into that, right? And the other is their own peers, their own in-group, the other rich yuppies. And none of their peer group, the other apparatchiks, are Bitcoiners. They all are doing pretty well right now in the current system, and they're going to stick with that, right? Which is fine for them, I guess, until it's not. So I really like that. One of our memes in Bitcoin is "Don't trust, verify," and actually, there's a lot of really cool stuff in the essay. You should definitely read it. One of the things is they only trust information within their own peer group, the other rich yuppies. And one of the things that makes them, got them the place in society that they have is they're pretty good at looking at information and seeing red flags. They're smart people, right? And one of the things in the essay that I thought was very interesting was when you first look at Bitcoin, there's red flags everywhere. And it's not until you actually dive a little deeper into it that that the red flags go away, right? So that's their thing. None of their peer group is into Bitcoin. They don't trust it. They look at it, and the first things they see are these big red flags, right? And they just dismiss it. So unfortunately, these people are going to have fun staying poor. Another one of our great Bitcoin memes. Not you, though, because you're on the path, right? You have conviction, or you're developing conviction. You don't trust and verify as a Bitcoiner. And what that means is if you're new to the Bitcoin, and a lot of the folks I've been talking to lately are 2024 and 2025 people. They are either leaving altcoins and going into Bitcoin, or they're just discovering Bitcoin and really starting to understand it. And if that's you, this is the time. You've seen some of this price action that's happened recently. This is the time when you need to get your Bitcoin processes in order, right? You need to start to set things up so you can remove your Bitcoin from an exchange like Coinbase into first probably a hot wallet, then a non-custodial hot wallet, then this is where you really want it, cold storage, and then there's other options moving forward from there. So get your act together, Bitcoiners. Don't trust, verify. Actually, one last thing before I leave, because I live in a place that's a high trust society. We don't have too many of them left because they are an artifact of an bygone era. But where I live, you actually, if you're a farmer or someone who has chickens even, you can leave your eggs on a little stand, right, with a cigar box next to them, and people will actually put money into the cigar box and take the eggs, and you don't have to worry about it, right? You can park your car. A lot of people leave their car in their driveway unlocked with the keys in the car. People leave their houses unlocked. It's just that kind of place. It's a high trust society. I was just in Quebec. High trust society for the most part in the eastern townships where I was. And as Bitcoiners, this is one of the things I want you to think about when you're thinking about your own Citadel and where you want to live. Those high trust societies, we want to be part of them. I don't want you to go into a high trust society and scam. No, you want to be a member in good standing who's going to keep that. You don't want to have to build a high trust society in some other place, right? You want to start to find the high trust society where you can build your Citadel and you can help that little part of the world to keep that magic of being a high trust society and bring this, I said yesterday my video was called A Place to Stand. So you want to find your place to stand and use your Bitcoin to make that place a good place for you and your heirs. Anyway, rich yuppies don't get Bitcoin, and unfortunately, They probably won't until it's too late. But you do. Take care. Talk to you next time.